without any further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Kimby Gilbert, all the way from Cameroon, as our main trainer this evening. Mr. Kimby, we are so looking forward to learn from you this evening. Yeah, I've got my pens and I've got my notebook, so I'm ready to learn. I hope all the other people are ready to learn. And over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. It's I appreciate all of you, Mr. Monet. Thank you very much for all you do. And I'm really excited, sharing this topic with you this evening, all about social media. And just to confirm, Mr. Monet, can you get me clearly?
Yes, yes, Mr. Kimby, I can hear you much better than last week Wednesday. So that's great.
Yes, that's why I had to confirm all of that.
Thank you. No,
Okay,
that's perfect.
okay. So we are going to be discussing, social media and specifically, the story future. I'm going to work towards making this really practical so that, most probably if you're just a beginner, you will be able to have, information most probably to begin practicing these this evening or most probably tomorrow morning, depending on where you are. And if you are an advanced user, most probably something to spice up what you've been doing. This is a process we say learning out loud. What I've learned and I've seen working. I'm excited sharing with you today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, success week.
Yes, we can see. We can see Mr.
Okay,
Kimby. Yes, wonderful.
okay, okay. So just like Dr. Scott Thomas was talking about, that social media today, it's really, we almost can't do without. Oh, you can do
Mr.
without, but
Kimby, we've lost you there. I hope it's
okay.
not just my signal, Mr. Kimby Gilbert.
Yes, can you get me?
Yes, now you're back.
Okay, thank you very much. So like I was sharing, um, just like Dr. Scott Thomas was talking about, social media. Yeah, social media, it's really a game changer. And like, almost everybody, we have 7 billion people on social media. And, we have about 500 million persons on stories, watching stories. You have people at work, people at home, you have even moms cooking, cooking, and they have their stories playing, every person's, it's become, let me say, the second TV, or series which people do watch, that is a great place to be present and having your audience consuming your content. Okay, so I was struggling to share my screen. So I'm going to be going on with, as I'm going on, I'm going to be sharing with you, some stories, actually what to post on your story, the kind of content, the process, to post on your story and how to post on your story. But before going into these, just some mindset, for us to have the right mindset when getting into these. You know, if you are struggling with these, if you have never used social media before, if you're not used to Facebook, or most probably if you're even used to Facebook and you realize that you want to post on your story and you're thinking, hey, will people like this? What will people think? What will people think? You know, if you begin to think that way, you are going to struggle. So what I'm going to share with you today, just go ahead, do it. Even if it's not the best, most probably you may begin to compare with other person's stories and you have those voices playing in your head and you realize that it causes you to procrastinate or not to take action. So just go ahead and do it. There is this saying that imperfect action will always beat perfect thinking. So if you're in your head playing it, you're struggling to come out with a perfect story in your head to be able to produce it, you will struggle, you will spend more time and less done with, and you're going to get less results. So just go out there, like what we are going to do. I'm actually going to take you through the process. I'm going to do it practically, and we'll see how most probably it may not be perfect, but it's going to yield results. So just go ahead, do it, and yeah, so that is it. So just sharing here, some of the two main challenges which we all face in our businesses. I've gone through this and I've experienced this. The very first one is wanting to be overtrained. So I'm bringing up this point because if this is the very first time, if you've never posted on your stories before, you may be thinking, no, I missed, probably I need to get the recording and watch it again. Just go ahead, do it. No matter how bad it is, just post it out there. You're going to build that muscle. It's going to grow over time. So that is the really most important thing. Or secondly, the second reason why most of us struggle in our business is overthinking. You're thinking how you're going to post on your story, you're thinking how you're going to message people. Overthinking it and not actually doing it is one of the reasons why we struggle in our businesses. So the very first thing, just go ahead and do it. Most probably immediately after this training, most probably put as your objective that you're going to post you're going to do at least one post or minimum 4 posts on your stories, which I'm going to share with you the 4 posts to do before you go to bed, depending on where you are, or most probably before you go ahead with your daily activities. So actually, what is Facebook story? What I'm teaching you will apply for Facebook, is going to apply for Instagram. Yeah, it's going to apply for WhatsApp, but it's going to be very, WhatsApp has limited features, but it's almost one and the same thing. Most of them are it's going to work. But I'm going to use Facebook as an example for this evening. So the Facebook story is actually a feature that lets you share content. You can share photos, you can share videos, and any animation, and it's going to last for 24 hours, And let me share my phone. I hope I'll be able to, this will stop other screen. I don't know, the host, please, can you enable multiple device sharing so that I can be able to share the screen of my phone and my laptop at the same time? Okay, while the host is doing that for us, let me go ahead. So I'm going to share with you, I'm actually going to get into my Facebook and actually show you where the stories do lie. But if you've gotten into Facebook, most probably if you see this image, both on the web and on the mobile version, you already discover this on your news feed. Immediately you get into Facebook, you see a good number of stories up, and then you have the post beneath. That is actually what we call the story. So why Facebook stories matters for our businesses, getting people, when we talk about prospecting, how many persons can you prospect on a daily basis physically? Most probably you get out there, most probably you're building this on a part-time, most probably you're an employee, most probably you end work at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. You have got a few hours, you need to commute. It takes you to about 30 minutes to get to most probably your prospect destination. And it may happen that you get there and your prospect is not at home, or you're saying you need to sit down and talk with a person. The amount of time which it takes that person is for you to most probably introduce your business to that person. The person at that point in time has never heard of your business, is not interested in your business. So you're still creating that awareness to get to discover if that person will be interested in taking a look or not. You see the amount of time it takes you, about 2 hours. So how many of that can you do in a day? But however, with Facebook, you have the possibility of creating that awareness. getting 50, 100, 2,000, 5,000 persons. You have the opportunity to have 5,000 friends. But actually what happens is that when you make a post on Facebook, Facebook doesn't, automatically get your post, in front of all your 5,000 friends, It actually, the way the algorithm, you see a Facebook algorithm, the way it functions is that when you make a post, there are some sort of layers, your first layers, maybe your mom, your sisters, your brothers, those people who will always react on your post. Facebook shows it to them first of all, and if they react on your post, Facebook is like, yeah, this is some content which people actually like, and it shows it to more people. The second layer, if they react on the post, Facebook just keeps, pushing it out there, since they want people actually staying on their platform. So they are going to encourage content which people on Facebook actually love. So if you make a post and no one comments on it, no one reacts on the post, Facebook just sends it down there and it gets missing. So that's how it works. Now the story feed, the story function of it is even better because, it's up there, you have people, watching stories. So the longer people stay on your story, the higher the probability that your posts or your story is going to be, in front of people's news feeds. So that is the advantage which we actually have with Facebook. So you can do a post, a curiosity post, and I'm going to show you the kind of post which you can do. And you have hundreds of persons viewing it, creating that awareness, generating leads. You can easily generate leads. You can easily have 50 to 100 persons on a daily basis who you can move over to talk to. So with Facebook, contrary to doing it physically. So how do you actually get to create Facebook story? Let me see if it's possible for me to share my phone simultaneously. That's still not possible. Okay, so I most probably will be alternating. So how do you create? I think it's preferable I do this practically rather than giving you the theory. So I'll get into Facebook. Okay, there we are. Okay, that is Facebook. And as you can see, over here, if you can see this, the top part, if you're seeing, this is actually the stories. These are the stories over here. You can see your story. You can see the one. You see the section which I'm moving. That is the story. And then when you move up, this is actually the news, your news feed, where the posts actually land.
You please unmute if you are not allowed, please.
Okay, so that is it. So to be able to create, a Facebook story, what you do is you can see this is, you see over here, create your story. Create your story over here. I don't know if we can all see that. Create your story. Should you click on that, it's going to give you the option to, get your story created. I noticed that there is some delay. Okay, that is it. Create your story. And you see that you've got the possibility to create a text story. The very first one is text. You see music, you see green story, you have boomerang, you have selfie, you have a pool, you have moods. So, and then you have your gallery over here. You can take any pictures from down here and you create a story with. So that is how you get to create a story. So before we get deep, I'm actually going to show us a process which we can use, to actually get people watching our stories and engaging. Okay, I think this is a good one. So these are the two ways which you can actually, begin creating your story. On your news feed, you see this button over here, create your story from your profile. Just beneath, if you go to your personal profile, you will see a button, add to story. So those are the two ways which you can begin creating your story. So the next thing is, the very first step is you need to choose most probably the content you want to put. Do you want to put a photo? Do you want to put a video, a boomerang? And then, this is it over here. You have text, boomerang, selfie, pool. The next thing is, once you get the photo on, we're actually going to do practical scenarios. Once you get the photo on now, you need to add, you need to get creative with your content, putting GIFs, putting music, and I'm going to show you how to get music. I'm show you how to get people to engage with your story. So you have stickers, you have music, you have text, you have drawing effects, you have animation effects, and I'm going to practically show you all of these. That is the second step. And yeah, this is it. Actually, once you've selected the photo, you're going to have these options at the side of your photo. So I'm actually going to have this PDF slide shared so that most probably you can use it. You can use it as a guide when going, if you are a beginner, if you've never done it, it's really going to be helpful to you. And then finally, the last step is that you share your story. Okay, so what is the process? This is actually where I want us to spend more time. What is the process, to lay out your stories? I think, I don't know who actually came out with this, but I learned this from Fraser Brooks, who is, a generic coach in the network marketing field. Now, this process, which we call hook, story, offer. The very first photo, which when someone is looking at your story, the person sees the very first one, should be very captivating, that should, get the person's attention, and the person is like, what is this? And it draws the person's attention to click on your story, so it raises some kind of curiosity. So when the person is hooked, now the next story, the next post, tells the story, whatever you want to share with the people, lose weight, or most probably release your boost energy, whatever the story you want to be, and then before you get your offer. So the very first one is create a hook, and each story is going to last for 15 seconds. We are going to practically, do this. Each post is going to last for 15 seconds. So just like I told you, your objective is to get people watching all of that 100%, just 15 seconds. If someone watches your story 2 seconds and gets off, 2 seconds and gets off, Facebook is just going to send it, backwards or down. The algorithm is going to bury it. But if you have people watching 80%, 90%, above 50%, your story is actually going to perform well. And then after you've gotten the hook, you now bring in the story which you want to share with the person. Most probably creating curiosity, no, it's not actually recommended. This point is actually very important. It's not actually recommended, we have corporate office, which creates these flyers for us, right? It's very important using those flyers very creatively. If you just get flyer, your whole story is most probably flyer, pure Excel, get pure Excel today, get a daily bill today, get a cleanse today, without actually bringing out a story so that whosoever is watching your story actually did not come on social media to most probably buy something. So if the person doesn't feel where you're coming, the story you're trying to pass across, how it can help him or her, and there is no call to action at the end for him, or what should he or she do, to be able to benefit from what you're trying to share with him, there's going to be no engagement. You may have one or two, but the majority of persons will actually meet you to take them, through a story, get their attention, tell them a story, and then give them a call to action. What should they do next? So we are going to use this process, the hook, story, offer, to create a post, or to create, we're going to actually go and actually create 4 posts on my story so that we can see how this actually works. So the very first post, like I told you, is creating curiosity. So let me share my screen. And the very first post, you go on to Facebook. So most probably your assignment for today is to, create your story using this 4-step process, which I've shared with you. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on create your story. And what we want to do is create something which can get someone's attention. So most probably, I could choose a boomerang. A boomerang is just, I hope we can see it over there, boomerang. Something, an image, moving image, something like, oh my God, most probably I'm going to, let me try this. And okay, there I am. So I'm going to do a boomerang. So I'm like, oh my God. So we're going to have this. This is the very first post. My internet connection, it's not the. So it's actually creating the boomerang. So once that is done, I'm going to show you how you get creative, what you can do to get people engaging with the story. Remember, this is the first post which we're doing, and the objective for this post is to create curiosity, to get someone's attention to view your other stories. So I'm going to practically take you through the process. It's taking more time to get the boomerang created. Okay. It says failed. Oh, it never, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use an image. What image? I'm just going to use, this is not, I'm going to use Moot. Okay. So I took Moot. I'm going to come over here to Monday Blues. Let us create a Facebook story, which we want to sell energy, right? We want to sell energy. We have a good number of people struggling with low energy, waking up tired, coming back from work tired. So the very first post, we would like to create curiosity. Okay, very good. Let's use this one over here. Okay. So, very good. So, waiting for Monday to come to an end. Okay, very good. So, I can add some text. Do you struggle with low energy? Just being creative over here. So don't overthink it, okay? I think don't overthink it. I think the best thing, don't overthink it. And then you can add music. Music, you can see when you see over this, over here, you see can add music, and then most probably you can search week. Just being creative over here. So most probably any song which is talking about week should be able to do this for us. Week. Okay, let me play this. Okay, let us go with that. So that is a song, and I will not love done. Okay, and I take it up. Okay, so this is the very first post. I'm done with it, so I'm going to hit the button share. I'm going to hit the button share, and that is it. That is the very first post. Do you struggle with low energy? I think this is going to be our hook. So it's posting it to the stories. Now, the very next, just like we see over here on the right hand, most probably if you're very new to this, you see, okay, we're done with that. I'll go to the second one. The second one, now we are talking about low energy. So I'm going to create some text. I'm going to create some text. I'm going to take an empty screen. So the very first post was talking about low energy. Do you struggle with low energy? Okay, I like this. Very good. Now on the left side, you can see the very first thing, you see stickers. Most probably take down notes over there, stickers. That is where we are going to, that area is really very important. That's what we are going to use to come out with, you know, the call to actions at the end. I'm going to click on stickers, and you will see the options which we have under stickers. I'm clicking on stickers. Now, you can see these are the various stickers which we have. You can add a sticker for location. You can add a sticker for time. You can add a sticker for GIF, for GIF. You can add music sticker. You can add the stickers which I want us to pay attention here is location, and then write down pool and questions. Pool over here, very down, you see pool and questions. Most probably you're taking notes. That is what I would love to share with you today, how we use that for call to actions. Those are very important. And then after stickers, we see text. You see text. You can use text. Let us use text. I'll say time to do something. Time to do something, full stop, and most probably I keep it there. And then I'll go back to stickers, and I'm going to add a GIF, stickers, GIF. Most probably I'm going to look for a GIF that helps us with directions. I'm going to search directions. Okay, I want a direction which is somehow moving. So I'm going to use the third option over there. So this is a GIF, GIF. I search direction. So it's just being creative. You see, it comes over there, and if you hold it, you can move it. You can move the position. You can either move it up or you can move it down. So I'm going to move it up. So the first post was talking about struggling with low energy. You know, QXL can be of help to this person. Energy can be of help to this person. So I think let us add some music. And for you to get music on this post, what do you do? On the left side again, the very first option was stickers. The next one where you see A, capital A, small a, that is to put in text. The next one where you see some crooked lines, that is scribble. To put music is the fourth option. You see some like this musical notes. When you click on it, it's going to give you the opportunity to search for music. And we are talking about, we just need some, most probably I'll search life cycle. You can be creative, most probably the songs which you have, which you're very used to, you know, just any song which will not distract the person from what you're trying to pass across. So it's really just to be creative with this. And sorry about that. Life cycle. We're getting a song onto it. Okay, so we have the song playing. I don't know if you can actually get the song playing from where you are. So we have the button done. Once you've selected the song, you have done over there. You see done on the top right angle. When you click done, now you have the song life cycle over there. But if you don't actually want it to be visible, if you don't want it to be visible, you can actually swing it up. You take it up and you see out of. You still have the song over there. It's still going to be playing, but it's not visible. So you want your audience attention to be on time to do something, and it's showing them the arrow for them to go over to the next post. So we are going to share this, and then most probably we are going to tell them now what to do. What should they do? What should they do? Usually, what you can do over here is you can record yourself a 15-second video of you most probably consuming energy, or of you consuming QXL, you know. All of these actually do help boost, you know, your clarity, your energy, and the strength which you have to go through the day. So just before this training, I actually recorded myself drinking QXL. So we are going to use that video as our after, or most probably the solution to this person. So usually, any person who is struggling with low energy, you see, will be actually interested in this. The person will be curious. And the person will be like, hey, what actually is the solution? But the objective is not to, you know, give all of the information on your story. This is really very important. Most probably I'll talk a little on that as we have the this post loading. On, you know, on your stories, on your Facebook posts, your objective is actually to create curiosity, you know. If I use the example of a film, you know, when we have Nollywood, you know, when they get a film created, you know, they create adverts, you know, which, you know, gives you highlights of the film, which creates curiosity, creates excitement. that you're like, hey, I need to get this film, I need to watch this film. That is exactly what you want to create with your social media post. Because if you actually give them all of the information, you give them the name of the product, you tell them the name of the company, you give them everything, they no longer need you. Google is there. The majority of persons will just turn over to Google. They just Google Lipiu and they Google customer service, and over there, they get to most probably purchase directly from the company, and you who did the advertisement, is not benefiting from that. I see some messages coming in. Okay. Madam Ignacia, the slides are moving too fast. You're not able to take screenshots. Okay. Most probably just drop in the comments area what screenshots you actually wanted to get, and I'm going to have that posted for you. So just like I'll share with you, most probably the internet connection is not the best. This is supposed to have been shared already, so that we move to the next post. Okay. And that is done. So we actually have 2 posts done, right? We've shared the pain. We've actually shared draw the attention, time to do something, most probably indicating to them that there is a solution. So what we'll do is, this is a video of me actually consuming QXL. So what I'm going to do is, and you see over here, I don't give all of the information. So that is me consuming QXL. So this is our solution. This is the story which I'm passing across. So I'm actually going to add some text. You see the text is going to be the capital letter A. So I'm going to just like yum, right? I'm going to add some emojis to that. You see, and all of these, you see the text which I'm adding is just to keep their attention, so that they can actually watch. The longer they watch, the better. And then, I can actually add some scribbles. The scribbles is actually going to 1, 2, 3, the full option, the twisted lines. If you click on that, this is actually how you can use this item. When you click on it beneath, you see that you have different colors which you can use. I'm going to use the red color, and you can actually color beneath that. We call that the scribble option. And once you're done with that, you click done. So I'm done with that. I think we can now share this to my story. So this is the solution, which is QXL. Share. I hope this is going to take less time sharing to my story. So remember, what are we doing here? We got the person hooked. We hook the person's attention. We tell the story. You're struggling with low energy, and what is the solution? I don't actually say this is the solution. Most probably, I'm just sharing with them. Actually, I'm talking in the video. After this, you can get to my profile and you check from there. You have the opportunity to listen to the video. I'm just sharing as I'm drinking it. I'm sharing with them. This is part of my health routine. Which I drink in the morning and I drink in the evening. And the next post, we are going to give them a call to action, which is going to get them engaged, taking action, for you to actually identify who are those who are interested in, most probably boosting their energy, and you can actually move to them. You can actually move to them. You can actually get to them and begin messaging them. Those are hot leads. So that is it. That is the third one. I hope this gets shared, and we are going to end the process with a call to action. So it's really just a very simple process, right? Hook, your stories, you get them hooked. The next one, you tell the story. Most probably, are you struggling with back pain? I could do the same thing with most probably back pain. I have my daughter who was always complaining of back pains, for a very long period. And we have been giving her some medications to no avail, but after consuming Pure Excel for 1 week, all that changed. The back pain just suddenly, she just discovered that she was no longer feeling that. So I could use that same process, to create a story. Using this hook. I tell the story, and now a call to action. Now, call to actions, what I will always recommend is to use a poll. I'm going to put it in the comments area. You use a poll, or you use the question sticker. So how does this work? Let me take a blank image, and I'm going to share with you how you get people to actually begin engaging. How do you begin knowing? So you take the very first option, which is sticker. You take the first option, sticker, and then you see the last options down there. You can either use a poll, or you can use a question, for your call to action to have. And this is the game changer. This is the most important part. Most persons, even personally, I've been doing stories in the past, but I do not usually have a call to action. That is calling them to take action. So we're going to use a poll as an example. And what actually is a poll? A poll, just most probably you can ask, your question is, most probably you can put, most probably daily health routine. So you could put, have you purchased from me? Don't overthink it, okay? Have you purchased from me already? Or better still, would you love to boost your energy? And then you can always change what you have over here. You can put and never put a negative response. This is really very important. Never put a negative response, because people will be like, you actually have people who will say no. So put 2 positive answers. You always have people who will say no, and you have the majority of people saying no. People will be like, those who wanted to say yes will be like, I thought as much. Most probably many people don't need it. So always put 2 positive answers. So I'll put not yet. So it's like not yet and yet. We don't actually want people who are not interested in our products coming our way. So if you're not interested, most probably you can just let it be. So this is a call to action. Now you click done. Where is the poll? what is happening. Okay, it's coming up. So that is it, and we can add some music, maybe a sunshine music. Would you love? And we can add some music, sunshine. Okay, actually, the song is taking time. I'm going to let the song so that we can buy up the time. But just to add some music so that whoever is watching this, is actually moving on some rhythm, so that the person is like, would you love to boost your energy? Would you love to boost your energy? Okay, so that's it. Yep. Okay. So I think this is better. So we have this as a pool. Would you love to boost your energy? You're saying, so whosoever is truly interested, and we can now share. So if you have 100, you have 100 persons, you have thousands of persons. As you build your audience, you're going to have 1,000 persons, 2,000 people watching your stories. So those who are struggling with energy, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 persons who actually respond, who actually click one of these, and once you swipe up, you'll be able to see those persons who actually clicked yes, want to start today or want to boost energy, and you can go ahead and start a conversation with them. This is actually a game changer, because actually in the back of your mind, you know that this person has a problem. You're starting a discussion with someone, you're already sure that this person has a problem which you can help solve. So your objective now is, moving ahead. You no longer feel that guilt that most probably you're forcing your problem or your product on someone. You can go ahead, build some rapport, you change it, you ask the person, have you already found a solution? The person says no. You ask the person, would you be open to a possible solution to boost your energy? And most often the answer will always be, yep, why not? So you can go ahead to send them a flyer. You can go ahead to add them to a Facebook group if you have. You can go ahead to send them a short presentation of pure Excel or energy. And once they have watched it, you can tell them, kindly let me know once you're done watching it. And once they are done watching it, you can now move ahead to close them. What do you like best? You ask them some question. What do you like best? Actually, do you see this changing? Just go ahead to ask them your close questions. Most probably, this presentation was for, the story future. So that is it. That is the process, just sharing with you. Most probably, when sharing on your stories, this is actually my objective for you today, is creating a hook, telling a story, and then giving a call to action, either using the pool, just like we use, or using questions. You can most probably follow my stories from time to time, and you're going to see, I'm going to use an example of questions for you to see how it actually works. You can ask questions and you actually have people respond to it, and you can actually use that, to begin conversations. this is a very good way with which you can actually use your stories, to boost your business. I don't know how will this change your business. Should you have any questions, I'll be willing to answer them. I think that is what I have for us today. Thank you very much. Mr. Monet, over to you. Mr. Monet?
Mr. Kimbi, thank you very much. I'm wondering if I would like to maybe give somebody an opportunity to ask questions. Mr. Kimbi, are you ready for that? So if somebody would like to ask a question, please just raise your hand and we can give you an opportunity to ask the master some questions. Thank you, Mr. Kimbi, for really making this a practical show. How to do this, adding the stories and all of the things. I see Rachel has raised her hand. Rachel, please ask your question for Mr. Kimbi Gilbert.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Rachel.
Thank you very much. Wow, wonderful presentation. Thank you so very much. I actually just, I know how to use a Facebook story, but it's amazing the exposition that you have just relayed this evening. Thank you so very much. My question is, I hope that we're going to get a replay of this and we get it immediately so that we can be able to go back and study to be able to do it for some of us that would like to start immediately on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Rachel, for asking. So normally what we will do is as soon as the meeting is finished, Mr. Temi from Nigeria will use the same platforms in which he circulated the information to all of the markets. He will share then the link to the recording, so that will be easily done. So everybody will be able to get the recording soon. So just keep same platforms. Just keep an eye out for the different platforms that you are using to get your notifications of our Wednesday, Monday, and Friday evening trainings.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful hands-on presentation. Any other questions? So Kimbi, you've done such a great job that nobody wants to ask an additional question.
Yeah.
Well done. Let me see if I can. I see Dr. Sandra's on the call. Dr. Sandra, some comments or a question from your side?
Wow, hello, good evening. Mr. Monet,
Good
evening. Good evening, Kembet. That was actually a wonderful presentation. Honestly, you made me actually, I saw Facebook story as a different, I thought I knew something about Facebook story. I never do anything. You've actually exposed a lot of knowledge to us this evening, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to put everything you've taught us this evening into practice, and I know it's actually going to help us build our business. Thank you so much. You did an excellent job. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Yes, a practical lesson and a practical teaching. Sometimes our leaders need to show us how to do it and not just tell us how to do it. So thank you, Mr. Kimbi Gilbert. I think I would like to ask Dr. Scott Thomas to maybe close this evening for us, and I'm sure that I am grateful, as everybody else is grateful, Mr. Kimbi Gilbert, for your time, for your effort, and for your energy and for your passion for helping us this evening. So thank you very much for hosting us and training us this evening. It was a privilege to have you here, and I'm sure that everybody has learned a little bit more about how to use Facebook stories as part of growing our business, so that we can hook the people more to see what we want to share with them in more detail. Dr. Scott Thomas, are you there to maybe open up or close up this meeting for us, please? Or maybe Mr. Mohammed Faisal? Mr. Mohammed Faisal? I see my colleague in Nigeria, Mr. Ephraim Abiona. He is also on the call. Maybe he can also say a couple of words. I saw him type a message for you, Kimby, Mr. Kimby Gilbert, and saying thank you to you. But maybe he can also say a couple of words in closing our meeting for us, Mr. Ephraim.
Thank you so much, Mr. Monet. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call tonight. Mr. Kimby, it was an awesome presentation, very practical. Even me, I learned so much about Facebook story. It was so practical. You went in depth. You shared with us your in-depth knowledge about the Facebook story, and also practical, the way you analyzed everything, the way you showed us how to use the words, the videos, everything. It was so awesome. Thank you so much. I'm very sure that everybody has learned so much in this training tonight. It was a wonderful session. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Thanks so much. Thank you, Mr. Monet, for allowing me to say one or two words.
Thank